Y'all heard the sound. Y'all know what it is. We back. We back. Hey, we live everywhere. We up and running. We good. Let's go. I'm glad that people can see us. Welcome back, everybody. Y'all know what time it is. When y'all see me and hear my voice, I got a haircut yesterday, so I feel good. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The Root Cause Podcast. We are up. We are live. We record. We all of that. We got he's not a guest. I always tell y'all every time when we come back, when people come on, they are no longer a guest. Mm-hmm. And once they come back the second and third time, and this is like number 3.
This is number 3.
It's number 3. You know what I'm saying? So before I get to y'all dudes, hey, my good doctor, Brother Rod, what's happening, baby? How you feeling?
Hey, I'm blessed, man. I'm beautiful. I'm here. I'm alive.
Yeah,
I'm COVID-free out this
okay. His bed look full and healthy, everything.
Hey, did you hear him? He said, I'm beautiful.
Yeah. He came in jacked this morning. Let's go.
If I'd have known we was gonna be on screen, I'd have did one of your numbers.
My man ain't tell you.
He just threw me out there.
Just threw my man in the wall. You ain't tell him we was live. People know we live.
He always cool. He always straight, man.
You do be clean,
man.
You
look straight to me, shit. Man, that's ghost from power, man. I know he here all the time.
Listen, I'm glad he came in, Jack, because you know what I'm saying, we need to see the workout brother come on the stage.
Inspire me or something.
Inspiration.
Right. From the gym, baby.
Yeah. So we gonna get into that too. Let's get around. LT, we ain't seen you in the month of Sundays, Jack. How you doing? You pink and marvelous over there. You beautiful.
Yeah, man.
He got. I want to know everything.
I'm feeling lovely, man. Life is good. Life is good. Y'all know me. I'm always planning, figuring out how to get better. I've been systemizing it.
Y'all ain't never heard system. He's systemizing.
You know what I'm saying? I've been systemizing.
I don't even know if that's a word, but 2021.
Only brothers who been locked up use that word.
We gonna hear that one.
I've been real systematic with everything.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? Like getting it all, like getting everything like consolidating everything pretty much, and it's allowing me to really like scale for real.
I would love to hear systematic and systemizing in a rap.
Hey, look. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I've been on for real, and I've been helping a lot because of the work that I've been putting in behind the scenes. I've been helping a lot of other people do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you like now you got the experience now, so you can really speak with conviction when you're talking to people. So I'm loving it.
What you drinking there, bro?
You know, my good mixture, you know, some ginger, some vitamin C, you know what I'm saying?
Tell what it is.
Some
Tell
million,
people, they
you know
know.
what I'm saying? Like, you know, I got my herbs. You know I do my herbs. You know,
He just got done eating a banana from the bottom of the crate. Yeah, like it was real.
It's not the bottom of the crate. It's a burrow banana. It's a real banana, not that dough bullshit y'all be eating. Not that GMO shit. It's the real banana.
It got seeds in it.
Okay.
Right? You know what I'm saying,
Dr.
bro?
Sebi joint, huh?
Yeah, one of them Dr. Sebi joints.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
It definitely was right.
Yeah.
You know it's right when you leave your fingerprints on it.
Right.
Ooh, that texture.
I don't like eating browns. It's hard.
That shit you put in the banana pudding that go bad.
I was trying to when I first got him, because it was the first time that I had some real bro bananas. We usually eat baby joints, but we got the joint and it looked ripe to me. You know what I'm saying? It looked like it was good because it looked like that from the time that I got it. Right. And the thing with baby bananas or real natural bananas, they have this real chalky taste when you eat it. So I'm over here thinking like, all right, bet I'm gonna get the brownness ones because I think this is gonna be good. Then I opened that joint up. First off, I couldn't open the joint up. I had to take a knife and slice the joint off. That was sign number 1 that this probably ain't a good idea.
For real.
I unpeeled that joint, bit into it, yo. That was the chalkiest, nastiest taste in my life. Felt like I ate
real chalk.
Real chalk, for real. It felt like I ate real chalk, yo. But you know. Hey, look, get y'all some, find the international market and get some burro bananas and don't eat them ripe. Just wait at least a week or 2 before you get into them. I don't care what it's like. Just wait at least a week or 2 because they're going to fool you.
I might have to close my eyes to eat that. I don't like the brown.
Hey, man, that's how they are. That's how they are. That's how they come from.
Have you ever heard of the red ones, the red bananas?
Yeah.
Those are supposed to be the most pure ones.
Yep.
Those are the ones that we supposed to eat. The red we go to Whole.
That's what we supposed to eat. You can't find them.
Whole Foods.
And if y'all in the area, it's a international market off of St. Barnabas Road. I can't think of the name of it, but it's right off of St. Barnabas Road, in the Sunbelt Plaza or Sun Plaza, something like that. But you know what I'm talking about? The Sun Plaza. Yeah, it's right.
It's Sunoco across the street from.
Yeah.
It's near your house.
You talking about the one on Brinkley Road?
Wait, no, not a Sunoco. It's an Exxon right next to it, right on St. Barnabas.
Oh,
don't worry about it. Let me drive a mine.
You got me.
I know what it means. I know about landmark.
It's the McDonald's right there. It's the McDonald's right there. The Family Dollar in the past.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's right in there. Right there in the back.
In Wheeler Road.
Everything. They got cedar grapes.
Near Wheeler Road. Near
by the
Wheeler Road.
McDonald's right
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
Since I've been out the military, I ain't found Cedar Grapes yet until I came here.
Oh, wow.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So I'm sorry for all y'all that's not in the DMV that have no clue what we talking about.
Just go get y'all some red
find your
bananas.
international market.
Just find your
and
international
pray
with
that
some
y'all
red
got good
bananas
stuff.
and some brown barrel bananas. DJ, what's happening, baby? What's shaking?
Oh man, nothing much. You know me, staying light skinned, out here grinding. That's about it.
Hey, his curl look wavy today, don't it?
Okay, he there.
He there.
Yeah, trying to hold on to whatever I got.
I can dig it.
Hold on.
Hey, there it is. Frank, what's happening?
Oh man, I'm good, man. Came back from Puerto Rico. I've been tested. I'm good though. We had a good times, man.
That's what's up.
I will say, outside of black women, man, them Puerto Ricans, them Hispanic, slim, lovely. But they are good people. Just in all, we had a good time. Everybody showed great customer service. I understand why the count of COVID is so high out there, though, because we actually drove on a street where these folks would not move out the way. I'm talking about, it was a street full of clubs. And it reminded me of what we used to have here back in the day, where it was just a club district and people was just in the middle of the street, like Adams Morgan, but it's cleaner now. There is raunchy. It's raunchy, but great ocean, great pool, great food, great time, great flight, man.
That's what's up.
Y'all kept y'all mask on the whole time.
Whole time.
Hey, every time you see my daughter, did she have her mask on?
For sure. Her mom did too.
Because I wouldn't let her. She was like, no, you can't come over here until you get tested.
They was covered up.
Like, nah, I need y'all to get tested. Her mama's stressing right now because she been with her too long. You know what I'm saying? Like, she ain't had her break away because she came to the house. I said, listen, I got my kids in there. I can't take that chance. You know what I'm saying? I was like, either the quarantine or the test. Rapid gel. Tell me what you want to do. You
gotta be smart.
So they still waiting it out. I'll see you in 2 weeks then. You know what I'm saying? We've seen too many scares or whatever close to home, close to home. You know what I'm saying? Like, our mother had a situation. She just found out, prayerfully she good. I believe she good. You know what I'm saying? Without question, it's just, they got to take care of precautions. You know what I'm saying? I had another scare close to home. But you know what I'm saying? So it's everybody going to be smooth. I ain't worried about it.
And are these people vaccinated also?
The people that got the Jones, I have no clue. I don't know what their situations is. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was at a daycare and some other stuff. So I don't know. I do know that people that went to go get tested and find out their results. So it's just a matter. Everybody just got to do what they got to do. Follow protocols. Wait it out. Moms, that's her. I had a conversation with Mom yesterday, and I like the way she getting pushed because, Mom's been trading a lot now, but Tim been coaching her along, and, she getting up there in age and things like that. And well, no, you definitely can't tell. She's starting to get a mindset of what next. Gotcha. I can't keep doing this. Maybe this is the thing that I should be I can focus on that's going to take care of everything else. I was like, Mom, I'm glad you're thinking that way. That's a great conversation.
Shout out to Mom. She's one of my best. So far, I've developed 2 6-figure earners and about 8 5-figure earners. And right now, my mother, she's one of my favorite students.
Wow.
She calls every day. Every time I drop the boy off, she's always got a question. I always wind up having to do a pop-up session with her or something like that. And everything that I learn or that I figure out that I just piece together, systemizing, okay? I tell my people. So she just so happened to be one of the first ones that got it, and she went from withdrawing like 2 times in like 2 months to withdrawing 3 times in the last week and a half. So I was like, yeah, this is lit. Like,
what I like about it is, the best thing about it is you never realize how the people closest to us be the ones that we train it, that we learn, that we get our training from, right? When my mother first opened her daycare, Layla was a baby. And I told her, I said, Mom, I know I'm your son and all that. I said, but I'm not expecting no discounts or nothing, because if you can do with me what you need to do with regular folks outside our family, then you can definitely do it. If you can be like, all right, son, that money need to come on.
Yeah, I feel
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. She ain't gonna be able to come back until you pay me. Do you know what I'm saying? If you can do that with your son and your granddaughter, you can definitely do it, because I know how my mother is.
Oh, I do too.
You can definitely handle outside people because she, pastor. She want to help people. She want to look after people. But your business is your business.
And I'm a
You know what
testament
saying?
to
I'm glad
that.
you said that, bro, because I'm about to pay it right now.
Because,
Yeah. She look, she ain't even come down on my man.
She did, though. She was
did?
like, I need my payment, son.
Yeah. You
got
need
you,
to
Mom.
run me my money.
Yeah, run
You
me
know what I'm
my
saying?
money.
So it's good. I love it. You know what I'm saying? It's good to see.
When my twins were first born, I we were looking for a child care, and I knew that your moms did a great job. And when I talked to her, the first thing she wanted to do was work with me. Like, what do you have to work with?
Yep.
And in my mind, I was like, I want to pay her. She needs, what I'm saying? Because she does everything from lunch to breakfast. Education, everything is there, they safe. But the first thing she wanted to do was work with me. Like, what do you have to work with? So, I appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
I call people like her generators.
Yes.
She generates energy. She's always giving.
Always giving.
She's not a taker. People that are always giving have a problem setting boundaries. We have a problem saying no to people. So she has to be intentional about creating boundaries and saying no. She got it. No is like a curse word.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You feel bad.
Yeah.
Like, damn, I had to tell somebody.
Real talk.
No.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, you got $10 I can hold? She be like, oh, get it. Give me 10 minutes. Let me call you back and see if I can get it. I'm like, Mom, it's not that
She
serious.
gonna go raise it.
Yeah, I said, Mom, it's not that serious. It's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's cool. I just wanted to get something to drink and some chips. It's all right.
I got no cash on me. You got cash.
It's good. It's good. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? She is definitely that. That's spot on right there. I like that. Yeah.
She
But how
got to
you
make
doing
time to generate her own energy.
Yeah.
Make time to pour into herself.
Oh, she cuts off when she need to cut off.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
can't
yeah,
even
that's-
get her. I
that's
hate
one
that
thing.
part. That's the only thing.
That's one thing I'm proud of her for actually doing.
Yeah, it's good.
She gotta do it.
Because she used to devote everything to, you know what I'm saying, like
To
other people. Just
everything,
anybody that needed help, whatever. Like I'm talking about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. She like somebody called, like she on the phone, ministering to somebody. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad she like kind of chilled out and focused on herself.
She chilled all the way out because we can't even get a hold of her.
Yeah,
We can't even get a hold of her. Like
Yeah.
we got to go through our aunt to get a hold of her. She said she know that it's something serious. And I had to go on her one time. I was like, look, Ma, she had a situation where she had went to the doctor and they didn't let her out because they was running some checks on her heart and all this other stuff. But I couldn't get a hold of her all day. And I told her, I said, look, I don't care. I said, I'm putting my foot down now. I was like, I don't care about all that. You are my mother.
Yeah.
I should not have to go through anybody to get to you at any time. I was like, so that whole not answering my phone call and now I got to call your sister, that's dead.
There we go.
That's dead. I said, because we
was
never
foot
would have known what was going on. I was like, I'm telling you, you better start answering my phone. I said, I don't care if you don't answer. You send me a message like, I'll call you back. That's fine. But outside of not answering me and my brother, you need to answer us.
And when she hung up the phone, she went the fuck off.
No,
Who
she-
you talking to?
She
I'm the
understood.
mother.
She was like, you right. You know what I'm saying? I had a whole conversation with her this week just because of the time we in.
Yeah.
And we getting older now.
Yes.
You know, so you ain't get there yet. But we either 40 or about to touch 40 and things
Yeah.
like that. We gonna start seeing a lot more death now.
Oh,
And not 'cause of
already-
COVID.
already-
Forget COVID.
already
That's just 'cause
doing.
our folks getting old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I said, what y'all got y'all life insurance in place?
Mhm.
You got your will in place. You got all of these things. I said, because at the end of the day, that's for me and Tim. I said, when it is your time and stuff like that, you make it easier for me and Tim to handle your affairs.
Yeah.
Y'all got the house, y'all got cars. Without that stuff, it's hard for us to even say, all right, bro, you get this car, I get that car.
Mhm.
Or what we going to decide to do with the property. If you don't have it listed or what you doing with it, we couldn't even be able to touch that property to try to move it here, sell it there, or whatever we want to do with it. You see what I'm saying? So I was like, y'all got to put that stuff in place. I was like, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even for us at our age, we ain't thinking about it, but we need to be thinking about
Oh
it. You know what
no,
I'm
that's
saying?
definitely a thought.
And stuff is in place, you know what I'm saying?
Man, don't doubt that. Black folks die for nothing all the time. So
All the time.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
definitely a
You know what
thought.
So,
definitely. I don't care what age. I don't really care what age you are for. If you can, invest in life insurance.
Definitely. And not just your insurance at work. That's cool
No,
and all
yeah.
that. But
Nah,
get some
your
real
own
life
shit,
insurance.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Come out your pocket a couple of extra coins and take care of that. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, the stress that you save your loved ones later on is tremendous.
Definitely, and definitely talk to your loved ones about what you want. You might not want to be, cremated. You might want to be
Light me
cremated.
up. I'm
Yeah.
good. Light me up. That's what I want. I was like, I don't need to be buried nowhere. Light me up. And I don't even know where you would spread my ashes.
Yeah.
Keep them, throw them out, whatever. I don't
God
care.
damn.
I don't care.
Throw them out.
You know what I'm saying? Like if some people want to go just throw me over the ocean
Okay.
or whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
anything,
Yeah.
take me up on a plane because I went skydiving and throw me out.
There you go.
Just throw the whole jar. Let that joint hit the ground if it got to. Whatever. I don't care. But let's keep it moving.
My
Let's
man.
get it. But like I said, I'm doing good.
Good.
Everything's smooth. Things coming into place. Like I say, brother, say you being systematic. I'm learning to be systematic. Systemizing. Put some stuff in play. You know what I'm saying? Just getting better with the nutrition and the health and everything. I'm trying to look like Rob in my shirt. You know what I'm saying? and you know that's the goal. You know what I'm saying? So it's good. But let's get some work. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. LT Cash Talk Tip of the Day. What we got?
Money conversations.
If they want to talk cash, then Tim the one they need to talk to.
We like cash, cash.
They say bullshit, won't, and cash talk.
All right, cool. Cash talk tip of the day, right? Shoot, I'm shooting off the dome right here. You know what I'm saying? It's been a while. You know what I'm saying? But we back. So one thing that kind of been on my mind lately that I kind of just been looking at is that everybody wants a full plate of food, but nobody wants to focus on building the table. Nobody wants to focus on building the table. Everybody wants the cars, the clothes, the trips, and even the skills, but nobody wants to focus on the things that drive that, right? A distant mentor to me said, the more value that you have on the inside, the less validation that you seek on the outside, right? So it's like, what is that table? For me, well, what I think the table is, what I see that the table is your personal development, right? Your personal development is like, a lot of people say personal development is just reading a book. Yeah, that is like a form of personal development, but you know what I'm saying? Like personal development and all to me is your awareness of self. Your awareness of where you can become, of what you can become, right? So it's like, and I feel like that's the most important thing. I feel like that's the most important thing because if you can have, with a nutshell, what I'm saying is you can be that person. You can be that person that buys this course, that course, this course, that course, this course. So you might be getting skills, you might be getting knowledge, but you may not be the person to execute on it. You got every course in the book, but you haven't made nothing yet. You haven't done anything yet. Why? Because your personal development isn't there. You haven't developed your inner man enough to have the belief in yourself, to have the belief in yourself and where you can go, right? So you know what I'm saying? Like, in a nutshell, my cash talk tip is this: the amount of personal development that you do is going to dictate how large this table is, and how large your table is will dictate how many people that you can feed. That makes sense?
I'm gonna let Doc hit this. The only thing I'm gonna add to that is not just the personal development, because you can read 1,000 books. It's the application of it.
Exactly.
What you taking in and are you applying it? You know what I'm saying? Are you being consistently active with the information that you getting? Because I mean, think about it. It's a million things on IG and every platform we got. That's how you can get money, learn how to make money, and all that. And these things are genuine. Like you could, if you do it and you take the time with it, you can make some money. You can get better, or whatever the serious. But if you don't take the time to actually apply what you learning and what you hearing, none of that matters.
That's why so many people broke right now. That's literally why so many people broke right now. Cause it's no real application being done. And that's why I say, like, you already know how I when I bring somebody in my business, I always my motto is shifting paradigms and growing bank accounts. And you already know, like, the first thing that I do is I talk about your mindset, and I talk about it like a gun, like when you shooting a rifle, you gotta calibrate it first. You gotta make sure that when you shoot, it's on target, right? So I look at your, you calibrating your gun is getting your mindset right before you even get into the skill set, right? And so it's a matter of not just applying the skill set, but applying the mindset. Because you can know about every law of the universe in the book, but if you're not actively applying what you learn, if you're not actively doing the things like to develop yourself every day, you know what I'm saying? you not going that skill ain't gonna mean nothing.
Facts. Doc, I know you got something to add to that, man.
Man, dude, I'm sitting there. Y'all sitting there. My whole book, man. My whole book is about this.
That's it.
It's about becoming the best version of you. I was just looking at what I said about, your desire, because everything boils down to what we desire, what our true desire is. I know somebody's true desire by what it is that they putting their energy into.
Yeah.
Right? I said, once you're aware of who you have been, you must identify who you would like to be. What is your desire? It's not enough to know that you've been behaving in an unbecoming manner. There are plenty of people who brashly accept the fact that they are jerks. They even wear it like a badge of honor. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to determine if you desire to reject your previous self and become a better representation of you. Don't lose yourself in the falsehood that you are who you are. And as if you do not possess the power to change. Yes, you have been who you have been. Nevertheless, each day we are presented with the opportunity to do it better than we did it before. That's one. That's one. One of my quotes that I love from Ernest Hemingway said, "There's nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility is being superior to your former self." I love that, man. That's like we're always working against us. We're either our best adversary or our best opponent, right? We're the one that's holding us back. We get into these discussions about the system and oppression and the man and all these other,
And the devil.
systemizing
Right.
and the devil, whoever that's against us. None of that can stop us. Only we can stop us. You know what I mean? We the ones that's in our head telling us that we can't do. I was watching Rocky with my son yesterday, right? He's 7. So I got him into the Rocky music. I be listening to that when I work out.
Okay.
Listen to Rocky.
Hey,
music,
Joe.
like, hey,
Oh,
Eye
my.
of the Tiger.
If you trying to get like hype
Man,
working out,
Listen to some Rocky music.
put some
you know what
Rocky
I'm
on,
saying?
Joe.
I'm trying to
So I
tell
was
you.
listening to it in the car, and one day he taking a shower, and I hear the music. I'm like, what? Why is this music going? I said, what you doing? He said, oh, I heard. What did he say? He heard. I heard something about your heart, and I looked it up, and he was playing the jump, right? So anyway, I said, let me start letting you see the movies. And one scene in the movie, Rocky said something like, I can't do it. And his trainer, you know how his trainer was vicious.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, can't. There is no can't. There's no can't. I played that joint over and over for my son. Like, I want you to just internalize this.
That's right.
There is no can't.
There is no.
You know what I mean? Like, everything that you see, somebody said you can't do. And somebody made it happen. You know what I mean? Oh, man, I can keep going anyway.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get you. Hold on, we got one more segment. That was a cash talk tip. It got real deep. It got real deep. Hey, DJ, we need you to lighten the mood a little bit, man. What heat you got from the streets this week, man?
DJ Shane.
I know one thing, this list better be fire.
Yeah. All right. So for heavy rotation, I'm gonna start off with my man Westside Gun. Okay. He released a joint, Hitler Wears Hermes, Part 8. Okay. Joint is fire. I would probably get that joint. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's definitely dope. Of course, Benny the Butcher's on there. He got Jada Kiss on there. It's definitely a street album. So
what's this again?
Westside Gun. His latest one, Hitler Wears Hermes, Part 8. This like a series that he's been doing. If you follow the Griselda team, Benny Butcher, Conway, all them, they've been running the streets as of the new cats. You know what I'm saying? That's their whole lane. Kanye dropped the album.
What you think about
That's all I got.
Yeah.
Drake dropped the album. That's all I got.
Oh yeah.
I knew he hate Drake. He don't like Drake, Joe.
I
think
like
I
that.
think John alright.
The Kanye
I like his
album.
better than I like Kanye.
The Kanye album, Hove is on there, which is probably the highlight of the album. I would probably get a Kanye joint, probably like a 6 out of 10. Yeah. He got a Little Baby on there, but it's a whole nother. Yeah, it's a whole weird
Different
kind
Kanye
of vibe.
now, man.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
It ain't what you.
It's called Donda, by the way,
Yeah.
which is after his mom.
I don't like the first track on that jump.
Yeah.
It's a chant of Donda. I was like, I don't know what Donda means. I don't know how you using it, what your spirit was when you decided. Like the whole first track is just
supposedly
Donda. I don't like that.
The repetition and the way that the chick says Donda was the heartbeat of his mom before she passed.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
All right. It was still.
Which that's kind of eerie to
Even
me.
knowing
It
anyway.
was still creepy though. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna- I ain't
exactly.
gonna-
I said
That's
once
kinda-
it got going, I said, yeah, I'm not gonna listen.
Yeah, I
to
feel
this.
like
I started number
that
2.
nigga put a spell on that shit.
Yeah, yeah. And he wilding
That's
right
it.
now. I know he is saying a whole lot of, you know, he talking a lot about Christ and he doing a lot of things in Jesus' name right now. But we already know how that go. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel like in a sense he knows something. I feel like in a sense he knows something and he's trying to say something in a certain way, but he can't really say it all the way. You know what I'm saying? It just can't come out in a certain way. But I don't know. That's just something to study. To look into.
Yeah, I think a lot of times when you're successful, you have a formula that works. And I think he's not going back to the formula that he had that works. Because how Kanye used to produce his albums, he used to have a lot of producers in the room while he produced, whether it's No ID, whether it's the RZA. Like when he did Dark Fantasy, he invited all the artists that were on there, the producers, all of them out to Hawaii for like a month, and he makes his albums. Now I guess he's trying to prove he's a genius. So it's just him, you know, like he may have certain people like as far as like recording wise helping him with, you know, but as far as the production, he's changed his formula that used to work. So he's trying, you know, I guess he's trying to make it about him to prove that he's a genius. But in order to be a genius, you can't be the smartest person in the room. You got to realize to have other people, you know, so it's like you could be a dope creator, but the people around you can help you make it make sense.
Right, that makes you the genius right there to know that I need this person to make this pop right here. I need
Exactly.
This person to,
Is it not working though? Is his system not working? Because I mean, he's still selling.
Well, he's
out.
good at
Because he Kanye.
he's good at getting attention.
Okay.
And that's a big difference. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
Same thing with the Drake album. Drake and Kanye, they did a lot to get attention,
They
but
did.
as far as making good music, that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And I think now everything is about like when he did the listening parties. You know what I'm saying? He filled up an arena. He's good at getting attention, but as far as like he didn't even play the whole album.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
I'm glad he didn't. That junk got 27 tracks on it, bro.
Yeah.
And see, my thing with it, we ain't even about to get into what his underlying messages is. Let's just stick with the content that we got. It's 27 tracks.
That's a lot of music.
I got to like 13 and was like, okay. Because after a while, it all started sounding the same. It started sounding like some rap, and then you got the gospel albums that he did.
Gotcha.
You start hearing that in there. It just all sound the same. It wasn't nothing that was grabbing. Like, I couldn't listen. I still haven't picked it back up to finish the rest of the tracks. Drake album I could listen through. I could listen to his. First of all, it's not that many tracks. It ain't. I can't remember how many tracks is on his.
I can't lie. His shit was. Cool.
I like his Joe.
He don't really miss that often.
Yeah, I like his Joe. Shane just got a bias about Drake anyway.
Nah.
I like the Joe. I could listen to it again a couple of times.
I mean, that's the cool thing about hip hop. It's like food. Everybody has a taste.
Everybody got a taste
thing.
of something. Absolutely.
For me, I can't really relate to Drake's music because I'm not really living that. Everybody, he always talks about everybody hating on him or a woman that did him wrong. That's not my life right now.
But you also come from a different era of hip hop too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where Drake is not that era.
Oh, definitely
he
not.
He can be, but he's
a hip hop album called Certified Lover Boy.
Yeah.
That's not even hip hop to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he has his lane, and it's just like Kanye has fans and fanatics, and so does Drake.
Yeah.
It's some people who gonna love everything Drake does. It's gonna some people who definitely jump off the building for Kanye. As a DJ, I gotta listen to it.
Yes.
So I gotta know what to play, and so I gotta taste everything.
Yeah.
But what's in my personal rotation, it's not gonna be that. You know what I'm saying?
Who went off? Somebody on the radio went off about Drake. I heard that.
Chris Brown.
Some rant.
It's a lot of people going in.
Nah, he didn't go in a bad way. He like Drake frushing everybody.
Oh.
Ruling all y'all. He the father. All y'all.
Sure.
He went off.
It might have been Chris Brown. I
No,
heard something about that. Wasn't him?
Chris Brown was complaining.
He was
about
complaining
him.
because I know
He
like
ain't make the- he
he
ain't
ain't make
make
the
the
jump.
cut, yeah.
The same thing with Kanye. Like Soulja Boy is frying him right
Yeah.
now. He about to make a diss track and everything about him, Joe. Like it's a lot of stuff. And like you said, it's about attention. Like
Yeah.
he
'Cause
said
nobody-
he said that the
nobody's gonna
production
listen
jump
to-
that they put out the album, he didn't release it. Little Baby stuff, so called, didn't make it on. All this kind of stuff. He like, man, just put the music out, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what,
Because I don't think.
Hate on him, bro? I
Yeah.
thought they didn't like each other because of Rihanna.
No, it was about his music coming out at a certain time, wasn't it?
Yeah, well.
oh
Chris,
yeah.
Chris Brown verse didn't make it.
Didn't make it on the album.
On the album.
Oh, they was doing music together?
Yeah.
He passed it up. Man.
He put the joint on Instagram. He said something about the post I didn't. I mean, the verse I supposedly didn't do or some shit.
And see, that's a whole new era for me.
Well, I'm glad we talking about this.
Like,
we got a versus coming up, Shane.
Well,
What you think about that, Joe?
like
go ahead.
the dudes that I come up with, like, to me that's sucker stuff.
Yeah.
If I do some business with you and I air it out,
Yeah,
that's sucker
yeah,
stuff.
that is.
But that's the era that we in now with, with these guys. You know what I'm saying? If I put a verse on Miguel's album, it don't make. I'm not gonna publicly talk about it.
right.
But it's cool to be a sucker now,
Well, I will
because they try to get attention.
I will say this: that hip hop is the baby of most of the music that we listen to, as far as soul, jazz, and all that stuff. And in jazz was much like hip hop, where the artists battled. They even battled within the same band. And so for the artists to like go back and forth, a lot of people don't know that comes from that era. It comes from there. I will also say that the music that we listen to are spells sometime. Y'all say he was saying Donda. Man, I didn't even know Waukesha was about the purple drink. No, everybody thought it was about a dark skinned girl with purple hair. Man, that's about the drink. That's about drugs. You know what I'm saying?
What song is that?
That's Moneybag Yo, Waukesha. Man, it's a catchy ass song. Love it. It's catchy, but it's about getting fried. It's about him depending on the drink to get him where he is, to be creative, for him to really be not emotional, but what's the other word? Vulnerable and things like that.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons why I listen to music every now and again. If somebody drop an album, I listen to it, but like 9 times out of 10, either I'll listen to it, whenever I can. Like the next time I go on the road trip, that'll be the time that I'll listen to it. But majority of the time, like throughout my daily, I don't really listen to too much music. Like I gotta have like personal development going on.
Yeah.
If I don't got that going on, I got lo-fi music going on. You know what I'm saying? Because like word, like you said, words are spells.
Background music.
You never know what type of energy these people are what type of state that these people in when they're making this music. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, with the energy that with the words that they putting out and the energy that they putting out with the music, it's like you never know. You can why you think you can not hear a song for 10 years and then why you think you can not hear a song for 10 years and then out of nowhere you know what I'm saying, that joint come on and you can sing that joint like you just heard it yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like it's programmed.
It's in you.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like I kind of try to, since I kind of figured that out, I just kind of try to stay away from music as much as possible. But still, you know what I'm saying, I'm still updated. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you just never know.
Not getting wrapped up in all the lyrics.
Right.
Before let's close, let's end this on this and this so we can really get into why we here today. Shane, what you think about this upcoming battle they doing?
The Fat Joe versus. I'm excited for it.
I told you he was gonna be excited for it. Ja Rule is man. He like Ja Rule.
Well, no, not because of that.
So
I think one, I wish they would have never started the verses. The reason why I say that, black people, we're the most unappreciative people ever.
True.
The verses is free. This is something that they doing to represent the culture. But as black people, we put an expiration date on our culture that no other culture does. White people, you got the Rolling Stones, you got Bon Jovi, Elvis. They love their people forever, which is why their artists can still eat for forever. Us, we come up with this term called relevant, which makes no sense. A song cannot be, an artist or a song can never not be relevant if it means something to you. Think of how many years we've been playing Before I Let Go. You know what I'm saying? So when they came with the Fat Joe and Ja Rule, like, we can't act like Ja Rule didn't have a run of 5 years where he was everywhere.
Most definitely.
We can't act like Fat Joe don't drop a single, a club banger every 2 years.
Whenever you want to, for real.
Yeah, and it goes. So we're like, oh man, Fat Joe and Ja Rule, like, these are artists. You know what I'm saying? We got to support them. We can't act like, oh, because they haven't dropped something in the last 2 years, like they not relevant anymore. At some point, you was rocking to this music. You know what I'm saying?
But is it relevance or what? Because is it relevance or because at the end of the day, the verses that we made, the verses wasn't meant for the culture. Now the verses for us, like our age range.
Yeah,
Think
our
about it.
culture.
It's all our old stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like the battles that we've been seeing. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't. So I don't think that it's necessary relevance versus like for me, I don't think that's a good matchup. I don't think Ja Rule and Fat Joe. I don't think that's a good matchup. I don't think that's a good matchup. You know what I'm saying?
They gonna make you dance.
I don't know who you put.
No,
with.
not necessarily.
I don't know what individuals you gonna put. With, you know what I'm saying? Because me and the wife are always talking about like who we think would be a good like. For example, I know one people had put up there that they want to see Cash Money and No Limit go together. I definitely want to see that. You know what I'm saying? The Locks and Dipset, that was a perfect jump. You know what I'm saying? Because at their time, people was comparing them and going, that was perfect. But at the same time, if you go with Shane say relevance, neither one of them groups is relevant right now. Yes, Kiss still dropping music every now and then.
I was saying we got to stop using the word
That's,
relevance.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We got to start appreciating our culture. Now the thing about Fat Joe is you talk about Fat Joe. He started out with Represent Joe, Success, not the club bangers, the street music. You know what I'm saying? Because he started with part of Digging in the Crates crew, which he got all of that stuff. Same way with Ja Rule. Ja Rule started out, Ja Rule got songs with Jay and X.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And held his own.
Yeah, he did.
So he got the streets joints and the close, both of them got the club bangers.
But hip hop is so competitive. And
Absolutely.
so because of what we just talked about, where it stems from jazz, them just going back and forth, it's like boxing. It's like who's going to take the number one spot. And so the end users look at it the same way. You know, and it's like, okay, oh, well, you got knocked off by 50, so you out of here. Who up next? Oh, 50, you got knocked off by such and such. Oh, you out of here. Who's the king? It's Highlander. There can only be one. That's how the people look at it when really, like you said, they're people, they're artists. We really should appreciate all the beauty that comes with all of our artists.
Trust me, if Bon Jovi go on tour, white people, they're going to sell the joint out. You know what I'm saying? And they'll be like, he didn't sound like the old Bon Jovi, but it was Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If 50 Cent go on tour, you're going to have people like, man, I ain't going to see, you know what I'm saying? But that's our culture.
You got to go across, got to go across that pond, though.
Because see, think about this. I don't know. This is how, like, for example, Ja Rule in particular, this is how I feel about it. His first album, Vini Vidi Vici, was the best album he had, and I ain't listened to none of the rest of the albums because when he got to his second and third album, he started trying to do more Drake stuff. I don't care what you say. He started doing more singing in there and everything, and it wasn't what I wanted to hear. So I couldn't listen past his singles that they had put out for these albums, and they was bangers. I was like, bet. But once I got into the album, it was the whole album. I was like, I don't want to hear that. That's not what I want to hear. So I couldn't hear that. So I guess the question that we can ask is it relevance versus is it what people want to see? Because yes, we do tend, in our community, we tend to turn out of people. But for example, New Edition could go on tour right now. People gonna go see it.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's just Frankie and Beverly been doing this thing for a long time. They run been over, but people, my arms and pops will still go see him.
For hip hop though. That's a different
But that's what I'm
thing.
saying. No Limit did it, Joe. We showed out for them. If Cash Money decided to go do it, we gonna show out for them. Bad Boy did it, we showed out for him.
Yeah, okay.
If DMX, if he did a tour right now and he started from his beginning, forget that last album he put out. He just did his stuff. That's what we want to see. If Jay-Z decided to go do a tour, if he didn't have a new album out, and he just did all his old music, we would show up for that. You know, even Kanye do a jump. I'm not going to Kanye to see what this new stuff he putting out. I want to hear all the old music. Yeah, so I think we will show up for you know what I'm saying, in terms of somebody that's like their time has run or whatever. But I think is when we think about what their relevance is, I don't want to. Like I said, I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear DMX do none of what he did on his new album.
Yeah, the new album.
I don't want to hear that. Like because of that new album didn't do what we like. See, the thing is, you leave a mark on us,
right?
You leave a mark on us with certain things. And because you left a mark on us, that's what we want to hear.
Your last.
We don't want to hear you come in here trying to adapt to new or be whatever. It's a reason why you got people like Snoop that have transcended time.
Yeah.
For real.
Even LL Cool J have transcended time and have been able to be where they at decades down the line is because of what they do and how they do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know.
And the cool thing about the verses, it reminds people of these artists.
Scott, yeah.
Like before the Dipset Locks joint, if you ask somebody about Kiss, they gonna give him his props. But the way Kiss showed out on the verses, you know what I'm saying? Now his streams up because it's like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because people forget about
yesterday's price.
Yeah.
people forget about how great you are if they ain't, you know what I'm saying, if they ain't seen you in a minute.
look.
So I hope Fat Joe and Ja Rule show out just to remind people, you know what I'm saying, who they was.
That'd be dope. So look, let's keep it going. We've been talking about a lot of bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to my guy here. You know what I'm saying? The good doctor. You know what I mean? Like, you want you a sexy, well-groomed, fit, empowering doctor right here. This where you need to come right here. You know what I'm saying? He helped me in my marriage, definitely. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
And we ain't even meet like that. So it was good. You know what I'm saying? We was what you call them in the runners? I forgot. What was we? When we did the run, the mutter.
Oh, Tough Mudder joint.
Yeah. We was the leg.
Okay.
We was the end. We finished off. We made sure
the
everybody was
bookends.
still. Yeah, we was the bookend, and we was just having conversation while we was making sure everybody wasn't getting stuck. So it was dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
that was cool.
let's get into this book you got out. My man got a deck of cards out. He been on the show time and time before. We talk a lot about mental health and black men and all these things, but we definitely here for this book. And one thing I used to say when I started, when I started making videos and things, I used to always say, let my struggles of yesterday be your strength for today and your inspiration for tomorrow.
Gotcha.
That's how I used to close all my videos, right? And of course, after I said that, because our pain, that brings purpose and it brings power in there. And then I just so happened to look over the synopsis of the book, and those words are in the book. Pain and purpose and power and all of these things. So let's get into this. What tell us about yourself, Doc, real quick, so we can dive into this your new venture.
Oh man, where to start at? Dr. Evans, empowertoday.net. That's the website. All social media is Empower All Day. I've been told I probably need to adjust that because people can't find me. You know, if they looking for Dr. Robert Evans III, it doesn't show up if they go on Instagram. You know, you got to know Empower All Day is my joint.
Yeah, that is true.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So
see, I'm always looking for Dr. E.
Right.
So that's my thing.
So it makes it. I guess it makes it hard for people to find me, but it's Empower All Day. Run to the pain, man. You know, I really had a moment that really hit me, and it was a Tough Mudder race. Actually, I talked about it in the book, where prior to the Tough Mudder, we did like a 5K.
Yeah.
Prior to that, I did a 10K joint. And man, I was not ready. I thought I was ready. You think you're ready for something until you actually doing it.
It hurts after 10K.
We was working out all that, thinking we was gonna be ready for this joint. My legs was like, nah. So like,
so this one just a 10K run. This was a 10K mutter.
It's a Tough
that's
Mudder.
different.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
going
it's
to mud
different.
and all that
Oh.
stuff. Like, it's
Oh yeah,
this.
it's
I'm
10.
thinking y'all just jogging.
No,
my bad.
No, it's 10K and we was like, my wife was out at the time. We weren't married yet. She was out there. It was like almost 100 degrees. It was hot, and we was in the mud, and we was climbing and lifting and all this and that. So, like probably about 3 or 4 times throughout the race, my body. You ever had a Charlie horse?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't started getting Charlie horses until like the last few years. I said I'm getting old because I never got these things.
I be stroking sometime to get a Charlie horse.
Hey, you be like, ah!
But I'm gonna work my way through it this way.
You get your you got
And they like, what's wrong? Nothing.
Yeah, you try to grunt through the joint.
Nothing.
Hey, Joe.
That back thigh, Charlie.
Yeah, that's my best foot.
Man, I had my legs Charlie horse on me at least 3 or 4 times. I'm stuck, can't move. My man with me, he's stretching me. But I was determined to get through this thing. So I didn't want to miss none of the obstacles. You know, you got to climb and you swinging all the stuff into lakes and all this other craziness. And I didn't miss none of the obstacles. There was a couple of us that didn't make it through. They was like, I'm good. I can't go, right? I'm like, I'm going to stagger through this joint. And then the end, you got to go through these electrical wires.
Oh.
It's these
Man.
electrical wires that's hanging,
Yeah.
and you get hit, you gonna feel it.
They really powered.
The joint gonna bang, it's gonna hit you.
Yeah.
That's the last joint.
Jellyfish thing.
After you go through all this, then you gotta run through these wires of electricity.
Yeah.
And y'all pay to
That
do
was
this.
stupid.
And we
paid
it wasn't my idea.
It's not boot
I
camp.
done pledged. I done been through enough. I'm like, I'm not doing. I'm grown. I ain't got nothing to prove. But I went because my boys. Oh, come on. Anyway, by the time I got through this joint, man, I'm staggering literally through the finish line, and usually, and I'm an athlete all my life, and I might take a couple of days, a week off. You know what I mean? After something like that, I'm gonna go a week off, right? This time I said, no matter how I feel, I'm gonna have to get up. I don't know what in my head said, you gotta move through this. And I think it's because one time I had like a full body Charlie horse. I ran track in high school.
Okay. Feel like,
Let me tell you what happened. In high school, I ran track. My quads Charlie horse, my calves Charlie horse, and my hamstrings and my triceps at the same time. I was on the ground hollering.
Oh, man.
I'm like, not knowing what to do. And everybody is on me. And I'm like, you can't touch me. They're like, you got to walk through it. I'm like, how? And I'm like staggering, walking through this joint. And maybe that kicked in, but something said you can't lay down and not move. You got to get up and at least walk tomorrow. You got to do it tomorrow. You got to at least walk. So that night, I just soaked, right? So the whole time, it's mental. I'm telling myself what I'm going to have to do because I'm hurt.
Yeah.
Next day, I get to the gym, I get on the treadmill, and I just walk. And I got some blood going, and I got up to a jog, and then I just stretched. And I'm talking about pain, right? Next day, I said, I'm going to go back. Pain again, but a little bit easier to stretch. By Friday, I'm 100% back, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, Joe, I'm back.
Yeah.
It was like unreal. I'm like, hold up. Then I start thinking about emotional pain and how you put stuff off like that. Like, man, I ain't talking to her, Joe. You put that off. Then you gradually say something, or then you finally talk about it, but it's like a couple of weeks later or a month later.
Guilty.
Or somebody in your family who you ain't spoke to. Or a friend who y'all had a beef and you ain't, you know what I'm saying? Or somebody did you greasy and you holding on to it and you ain't saying nothing. I'm like, hold up a minute. Then I start thinking about my clients and all the work that we done put in. Then I start thinking about psychological pain and the stuff that you put yourself through and all the trauma that you've been through that you just tuck away and you hide it or you bury it. I'm like, hold up a minute. Every aspect of your life, your physical pain, your emotional pain, your psychological, your spiritual, you got to actually go towards the pain for the healing. It's not just the physical, it's every aspect. I said, oh man, this is like one of them moments, right? Yeah. I'm like, hold up, man, everybody got to know this.
Yeah, man, that's a
I
light
can't
bulb
keep
for me.
this a secret. Everybody got to know this because I realized it's pervasive. It's so many people that when you talk about it, and then I start listening to people's lives, and they talk about how to cut people out your life. When people bother you or this or that, you cut them out. You cut out the pain. You cut this out. But that's not resolving it. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to cut it out. You're supposed to actually embrace it.
Yeah.
You're supposed to go to that so you can deal with it, because otherwise it's going to keep resurfacing. It's going to keep coming back.
Exactly.
If I take forever to go to the gym and stretch, the pain is still there.
Yeah.
I'm just prolonging what I got to do anyway. I'm taking too long. I want to hurry up and get this over with. I got to run to this gym. I can't take my time. I can't. Then you start thinking about, man, people, because this happened when I had this light bulb moment, and then I started writing about it during the pandemic, right? People dropping like flies. You know, it's like the numbers was skyrocketing. COVID was smashing black people more than anybody else. When COVID first hit, black people was getting straight hammered. In DC, 6 times more likely to die. in some, I think it's Missouri, 7 times more likely to die. For every white person, he's 7 times more likely to die. It was unprecedented, right? So I'm like, what time do we have to waste?
Right.
What time do we have to waste? Why are we wasting time? Like some people say we got time. No, we don't. We ain't got time. We don't know if we're going to make it tomorrow. We don't know if we're going to. I literally 2 days ago saw a car flipping like this in the air on Branch Avenue. I was driving up Branch Avenue and I seen a black sports car doing this number.
Man.
Up ahead. I'm like, oh man, I'm about to ride into this joint. It's just happening right now. Yeah. I'm riding by the joint and everybody's slow riding by. They pulling my man out. It's a crowd of people. They pulling him out the car. He was alive. I'm just praying while I get by this joint. But whenever I think about myself and my family, my loved ones, I think about an hourglass with the sand running out. And I'm like, man, we all were born. The second we were born, the sand started running. Mm-hmm. And it's not stopping. I don't care if you try to sleep it off. Mm-hmm. Sand's still running. Whatever you're doing, your sand is running. And we don't know when it's going to stop. Tomorrow, I might not, you might not see, like with Dr. E, you might not see Dr. E. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We don't know. So we don't have time to waste being upset and angry. We don't have time to sit there and say, I'm not going to deal with this. I'm going to put this off. Mm-hmm. Why? Right? We do that with everything that's going on with us physically. We put it off. Yeah. We just, and with men, we definitely,
oh man, we
definitely feel like we indestructible. Yeah. I ain't going to the doctor. We not getting physicals.
To the dentist.
Until we feeling it. Until it, you know what I'm saying?
Until you got to go.
We not being proactive. So my book is all about not just the reaction and when you feel the pain, because pain is an indication that something needs attention.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm.
We don't ignore that. Either something is being done, either work is happening or work needs to be done, right?
So let's not forget that I want to go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, my man has Willie Jolly on the forward.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, Willie Jolly is a big radio voice in this area when I was coming up. And also a household name around the country. He travels around the country speaking at corporate events about team building, about self-development, all those things. And you were able to tap into a great one to get him to participate in your writing. That's major to me.
Yeah.
That shows me your circle.
Yeah.
You know that you're for real about your art.
Yeah.
You're for real about what you got going on. The dedication.
Yeah.
I think I got the most out of that. I saw the most in myself about the dedication to your father, and I looked at myself and my son, and from the dedication, it could come across to the reader as, oh man, the father might have been a little toxic, a little bit, you know. Mm-hmm. But then you brought it around and say, you know what, that's what caused you to be a good listener for the craft that you do on today. So there were lessons all throughout the book from start to end.
Yeah.
You also have your empowerment deck. Kingsley, what caused you to create the deck of cards, affirmation cards?
Yeah. So I want to touch on everything you said. First with Willie Jolly, phenomenal person, man, human being, and his wife, outstanding. Mm-hmm. My wife and I went to an event where they were speaking, and it was our church Zion had for Valentine's Day had a weekend, and they spoke, right? And so we went and got their books, and they were signing them, and so we instantly, look, I need to connect, right? So we started talking after that, and dude was cool, right? My wife reached out to his wife, so I reached out to him when I was developing the book, and I talk about in the book, part of our purpose is just in our connecting with other people, right? Mm-hmm. So I was very, very thankful that he was willing to participate. And then you talk about the dedication, you know, and part of what I talk about throughout the book is how we embrace our adversity, right? Mm-hmm. You know, and I believe that that's a measure of our maturity, how we embrace those obstacles and the adversity and we turn it into opportunities. Because a lot of times people look at the things that they've gone through in their life and they look at it as a curse. You know what I mean? I'm cursed because of X, Y, and Z. Right. I had one client and she had been through war. I mean, literally with her family, her mother, and she was a gay woman and she had been tortured her whole life, right? But now she's outstanding. She's married. She's doing big things in IT. She's making it happen. And all of what she went through forged her into the person that she is today. And I had to help her to realize all of those things were for you to be who you are now. I can't remove any piece of what I went through. I can't remove all the people that did me greasy. Everybody who stabbed me in the back. Everybody who taught me those lessons about how trifling people can be. I can't remove none of them. I thought about wanting to cut people out. What if I cut this person out of my life? Then I thought about, well, man, that would mean I'm not learning all of the things that I needed to learn from that relationship. So I can't lose none of them. All the people you said, I can't stand, you need that person, right? So all the things that my father put me through and that I went through, I said, well, damn, I'm like this because of that. You know, I needed that, even though that wasn't the best method. Right. That method did something for me, right? And I was able to turn it into something, right? So, you know, I think it's very powerful, but he balanced it with just being present. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just being present, you know, because there's no, babies don't come out with an instruction manual attached. No. You know what I'm saying? Right. Babies don't come out, and they got like a jump stapled to their belly. Nah. You got to figure that out real time. Job training. You know what I'm saying? Real time. You got for each one. And you can't blanket your parenting to all your kids. Each one deserves their own parenting style. And you got to figure that out. You got to crack his combination. Right? What's his combination? And he got to help you crack it. You got to be open to listening to your kids so they can teach you how to raise them. Right? So that was a big lesson from that. The empowerment deck, man, you know, I gotta shout out my queen, at Life Coach Vaughn on all social media.
Ms. Vaughn.
And you know, she's an outstanding individual. And she came up with affirmation cards for queens, right? And they beautiful packaging and all. I said, oh shit, that's like that. Immediately, I'm like, hold up, man, the fellas need something though.
Damn right.
The fellas need, and one of the things that I recognize about men, you know, and I have several men who I work with, a lot of guys don't embrace certain things like women do. You know what I mean? Like just the concept of affirmation and affirming things. Guys like, I don't need to do that. I don't need to affirm nothing. I got it. I'm me. I don't need to ask nobody for help. I don't need to holler at nobody when I'm struggling. And so, you know, part of my mission is to help men to understand that it's not about you just doing you by yourself.
Right.
It's about how we can work together to make ourselves the best version of us, right? That's why we have ears so we all connected right now. We can all hear each other, see each other, right? Y'all probably can smell me musky a little bit from the gym, right? All of that is designed for us to connect. We're not here to just do this by ourselves.
No.
Right? Right? A man and woman fit together like a puzzle, Joe.
Yeah.
It's a good puzzle.
A good puzzle.
but for so long, you know, a lot of us walked around like, you know, we don't need nobody.
We don't need nobody.
Especially in business.
And that's the disconnect. That's the disconnect in the community, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck financial, but just from that, it starts from the mindset. The fact that people think that you're not here for that. You're not here for that. Like you said, that one of our purposes here is to fellowship, and another one is to reproduce yourself in others. How can you do that if you're not connected with nobody?
Yeah, and that's what we got to cut through in our culture. Culturally, you know, especially if you're here, you're black in America, and you're rooted in how we got here and to where we came. Trust has been broken. You know, when you look at the stages of our growth and development and just babies, trust is one of the first things that needs to be developed for a baby and for a person to be functioning like they're supposed to. And as a black community, our trust in America has been broken from day one. Yeah. So not only do we not trust America, but we don't trust each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it has broken our ability to trust one another. You wonder why, you know, marriages and all of that stuff is on an all-time low and this and that. We don't trust nobody. We don't trust each other. We don't trust the woman. We don't trust, you know what I mean? And we got to cut through all of that, right? And learn how to trust so that we can connect and bond and grow and do what we got to do.
Yeah. And when you say, like, I try to teach my kids this, and I even tell my wife this, that don't go into a situation expecting the worst out of people. Like, people not always here to do you dirty or to, you know, shame you and shit on you and things like that. Like, don't think that you about to walk into this and you gonna get what you got before. I'm not saying don't be aware and don't pay attention to the signs if they're there, but at the same time, don't just expect this person automatically that they gonna do you dirty, because we go into relationships like that. We go into a lot of. I hear a lot of people say, "Yeah, I'm getting married, whatever." Man, but I still got this, so I still got that. You already setting this whole situation up to fail. You already planned it for
You just affirmed that.
You already. You just right. Whether however much you hate affirmations, you just affirm the fact that
we do it all the time.
Not going your situation, not going to. It ain't gonna make it. Like, you giving that power whether you believe it or not. Right. That's what you doing.
That's why I say this shit. It's gonna work. It don't matter. It's gonna work like just like the law of gravity. If you step off this fucking building right now, you gonna break your legs. That's just what it is. It don't matter whether you believe it or not. I don't care how you feel about it. If you step off this building, you're gonna break your legs. That's how affirmations work. We always affirming at every. I tell people all the time, at every point in your life, you are a transmitter and a receiver. You are telling God, the universe, whoever you serve, who you are and what you want every moment. So you just gotta be aware. And my thing is, for black folk, like, why not just take control of that? If you understand that, right? If you understand that, why not take control of that? Be who you are. This is how you become the highest version of yourself, a part of it at least.
Yeah, you got to speak it into existence.
I don't think that a lot of people do understand, and I think that's why you wrote your book.
Exactly.
Because one thing that black folks do trust are habits. You know, and if we have a habit of seeing bad relationships, if we have a habit of seeing poverty and discomfort, that's what we know. You know, that's what the average person knows. You know, that's why they talk about the rap artists the way that they do, and they shut them to the side because we're used to a certain standard here. We're not used to that old music. You know, a lot of black folks this generation don't even listen to jazz. You know, some folks today it's too complicated. You know,
and it's good you mentioned that, because we've got so accustomed to the habit of seeing struggle.
Yes,
that we are so identified with it, that we believe that's the identification of what black is. You know, black is struggle. Black is you're not black if you don't understand selling coke, or if you don't understand slinging dope, or if you don't understand getting shot or committing a crime. You're not black, right? I got one young client now. He doesn't love himself because he was born in Montgomery County and his parents set him up for greatness.
Wow. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say it like that.
No,
but that's probably the reaction that you get from.
I grew up with quite a few
a major complex,
kids like that.
A major complex, because he's a cool, just a dope individual, right? And he connects with other kids who have certain like flair about them, but these kids are like from the hood or from places that he's not from. So he has an internal conflict with his identity. He's like, man, I just, you know, so he started to move like them, to fit in. He had to get to a place where he embraced himself, like, I'm good regardless of me not connecting with struggle. My parents put me in a great position. And I'm like, that's still a black story.
It is.
That is still, you're still black. I don't care that you don't understand certain language and ebonics and how to speak hood language, and you know all of the hip words to say. I don't care nothing about that, because you know most words in the dictionary. That's a black struggle. That's a black identity. You are black, right? And it's chocolate. I'm like, your skin tells you black, right?
Right.
So, you know, but this is what we're dealing with as a community, man. But here's what we got to do. We got to recondition that. We're so in the habit of not only seeing that, but we don't even want to put that out there. We don't even want to put out that we're in a good relationship. We don't want to put out that we're smart. We don't want to put out that we're not ignorant and stupid. We want to portray that we just as dumb as the rest of these niggas. You know what I'm saying?
And I gotta say I am proud of the transition that is happening in the black community now. It's not all over the place, but it's getting more prominent. You know what I'm saying? Like the businessman, you know what I'm saying, the black businessman that's doing $1 million deals, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's starting to get hot now, you know what I'm saying? Because people like us who got shit together and is going somewhere, you know what I'm saying? We being more vocal, doing stuff like that, putting bucks out like this, training people, giving people their service. So, like, I definitely got to say a big shout out to our community for it. We got a whole lot of work to do, don't get me wrong. We got a whole lot of work to do, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, like, I definitely got to acknowledge, you know what I'm saying, the transition that we are making, because it's definitely happening. You know what I'm saying? And it's happening at a more rapid scale than I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? Ever.
We definitely moving in pockets.
Yeah.
You know, but we need to move collectively.
Definitely.
Yes.
You know, we it's pockets of us that's doing big,
Right.
gigantic, humongous, enormous things.
Right.
But then there's still pockets of us that need a lot of work.
We got a whole lot.
We need to move collective, and that's where that trust is, because we trust certain people.
Yeah.
We like, who coming, Joe? Who you bringing, dog?
Yeah.
Right. We like, nah. You know you can't. You know what I mean? But and like you said, the trust and how you go into a situation is, we still got to have some hope for us.
Definitely.
Once we lose hope, once I lose hope, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
If I lose hope,
it's gone.
Y'all might as well just be like, man, the world's over.
My man.
Right.
I gotta keep an eye on that.
And that's why it's important for us to. That's why it's important for us to keep doing what we're doing, to keep standing up, being out on the front line, showing people what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially like, you know, just me being out. Like I done been on Instagram just talking about my story. I probably at some high-rise building or something like that, or whatever the case may be, and somebody asked me like, yo, what you doing? It might be a person that really don't come from nothing for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you doing? Like, well, it's the middle of the day. You ain't at work. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, what you do? Well, this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? So just y'all, just everybody who got something going on, like, keep, if you don't have faith in anything else, have faith in the fact that you're being watched, and somebody's really seeing you, and somebody's being inspired by you. Just the fact that, whether you got a job or not, just the fact that you're doing something that people aren't normally used to seeing, they seeing that and they getting inspired by that. So like, one big shout out to y'all, and two, we got to keep doing this. Got to keep getting out there.
Yeah, but get back to the cards, man. We've been speaking on how important it is to put things out there, and the power of our voice, you know. And it's not just the external voice and what we say externally, but it's about what we say to ourselves. It's that self-talk, right? It's what we're saying to ourselves that nobody else can hear. And all of that goes into how we affirm who we are, right? And we don't even realize a lot of times what we're saying to ourselves and how that's manifesting itself. You know, the second we say, well, nah, somebody do such and such, I'm going to do this. We're training ourselves mentally to perform in certain events. This is what we're going to do, you know. And what we have to tap into is, why do we feel like we have to move like that?
Gotcha.
What's behind that? You know? So in another book that I wrote called Intentionality, it's a workbook. That book talks about triggers and buttons, right?
And does that go with this book here?
So the workbook that goes with that is called the pain pill. Right? So that's just so that if you have some things that's unfinished, some pain points in your life that you need to address, you can actually write it down and work through it. Intentionality is just a holistic. It's about self-awareness and self-correction. Those are the two most important things for me in life. That was what helped me to determine whether I was going to get married again. You know,
intentionality and
it's self-awareness and self-correction. It's understanding you, all the things that you need to work on for you, all the things that make you who you are, all the things that hold you back internally, and then doing something about it. What are you doing about it? Because you have so many people that know it. They know that, oh man, I don't do well with this. Oh, I'm not good with that. Or that's not my thing. Or oh, nah, that's my struggle. What you doing about it though?
Gotcha.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because they sit with that and they good with it. They like, that's just who I'm going to be. I don't think some people know that they can actually be something else.
Yeah,
they believe that because that's how they've been for so long, that they don't have the ability to be something else, and that is false. The second you say, man, I want to do something different, you could change that. And I didn't even realize this for a long time. I was like, man, people don't change, man. People can't change. A lie.
Yes,
you absolutely can.
Yo, I deal with that every day, just talking to different people about what I do, like especially like the older ones as well. You know what I'm saying? But all people for real, but the older ones as well. It's like, yo, like it's like their mindset. It's like, yeah, I've been doing this for 30, 40, 50 years. You know what I'm saying? Like this what I know. I'm like, yo, like I trade. For y'all who don't know, I trade in a bunch of different markets, but we literally have a system that allows anybody to be able to do what we do and make money in it. And I would literally hear people like as I'm talking to them about as they're asking me questions and I'm talking to them about what it is, they already have their excuses, their programs in their heads ready to fire off. Oh, I'm not good at math. And I tell them, you ain't gotta be good at math. I'm not the best at math either. Oh, I'm not good with graphs. Like, I'm not good with graphs either. Like, you don't have to be. You don't have to be none of that. Like I said, I'm giving you every reason in the book to what you call them, but because of the programs that you have embedded in your head, based off of what you say to yourself, your self-talk, you accept it, and that's just what you go with. You know what I'm saying? So it's like literally you are literally in the way of your own bag or your own just empowerment in general, for real. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely like you said, just showing that. You know what I'm saying? They to give people hope. Like,
and when you're cutting through that, you're not just cutting through their insecurities. You're cutting through layers.
Definitely.
Because they're not just coming with their own mindset, but whatever their parents' mindset was,
Precisely.
whatever their grandparents' mindset was. I tell people all day, you set an invisible ceiling for your children, right? And you know, I love the fact that you have your kids watching what you do, because you're in fact opening up the ceiling for them. You know, you're creating an open ceiling. You're taking the roof off where they can say, oh, I could do this, I could do that. I'm not limited, right? But for so long, we've been told, go to school, get a job. Go to school, get a job. Go to school, get a job. Get a good job. Basically meaning, go work for somebody else. Go build somebody else's dream.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Go to school to learn how to build somebody else's dream. That's what we've been taught, instead of us teaching our kids, man, you got to decide what your dream is.
Yeah.
I want to get into that too. In your book, first of all, y'all remember President Obama and the way that he used to speak. And he will always use examples of like real life people in his speeches. You did the exact same thing in your book, and I love it, where you actually told about no names, but it was your experiences. You dealt with dealing with emotional pain in your life, like how you regulate it.
Yeah.
And to me, that was odd. I'm like, well, should we get rid of it? Shouldn't we get rid of the pain? But you're saying, no, there's a way to manage the pain and to live through the pain. And I kind of got confused, and I wanted to ask you, because in one of the stories, there was a young lady who lost her daughter. And instead, she opened up a nonprofit in the daughter's name. And I didn't know if that was her dealing with the pain or just being busy. And I wanted you to go a little deep into that.
So one of the things I talk about in the book is how we are always conditioning ourselves. Be mindful of your conditioning. You know, the second that you do something, you conditioning yourself to be prepared for the next time this event happens. You may do it like that again. So be mindful of how you get angry. Be mindful of how you grieve, right? And one of the things, the toughest processes for people to go through is the grieving process, right? But we talked about earlier how the second we're born to die, and everybody that came before us is their track. Technically, it's supposed to be a little bit shorter than ours at this point.
Yeah.
So we're going to lose people, right? So the second that you lose somebody, how you grieve, you're preparing yourself for the next loss. So you want to be conditioning yourself to grieve in a healthy way, right? And so, like you just said, as far as staying busy, a lot of times people go to shutting down. They go to isolation. They go to removing people out of their life. They go to removing the people the things that remind them of their loved one out of their life. They don't want to do those things that remind them of the loved one. So I had one young lady who lost her father, and there's so many circumstances around the death that she cut everything out that reminded her of her father, right? So they used to bowl. They used to do all these great things. She cut all that out, right? So now you're conditioning yourself to, whenever you have a loss, to do that, right? So my thing is, well, first off, we're going to have losses. So we got to embrace that truth and say, okay, well, what am I going to do when a loss happens? Am I going to isolate? Am I going to just lay in the bed all day? Of course, you got to allow yourself to feel, and I talk about that. Oftentimes when people have a major loss, they don't feel nothing. They numb. They don't feel nothing until the next anniversary of the loss, right? You go through the funeral, all of that, and you ain't feeling nothing. You going through the motions. You trying to just make it happen. You don't even feel nothing until you reminded the next year that the loss is coming, right? So it's like, dang, I didn't even feel nothing. Now I'm grieving, right? And so this this process of grieving is major. So my thing is this: be mindful of how you're conditioning yourself through this process.
Got you.
And so the things that are connecting you to this person, if this is somebody that you love and you cared about, you want to be able to embrace those things. You want to be able to do the things that remind you of that person, and you have a good time doing it, right? Mm-hmm. So if you allow yourself to be in the bowling alley and just sit, right? Or even bowl or whatever the case may be, that's something that you and that person love to do. They want to see you bowl. They don't want to see you sit the bowling ball down. They want to watch you bowl now, right? So it taps into your belief system. It taps into, what you believe is going to happen when you die, what the next phase is, all of that. But my thing was, for her, I love what she did was she created a nonprofit. So I encourage people to pour their energy into something that's going to be that's going to uplift that person. That's going to honor that person. A lot of people create scholarships. A lot of people do things that will have you to put your energy into honoring that person and acknowledging them versus cutting that out of your life. So, I really love what she did. So she made it her mission to empower other people who have been through. Her daughter died from domestic violence, so she was killed. And so she created a nonprofit to help other people that are struggling with domestic violence. So she really poured into that. And, the word busy could have a negative connotation to it.
Right.
But I would rather you be putting your energy into something positive than to, one, allowing yourself to atrophy and not do nothing. Because if we don't use it, we lose it. So if you're going to sit around and not do nothing, your body's withering away.
Gotcha.
So you need to stay active. And that's one of the processes in the stages of that I talk about as far as running to.
If you had a night of drinking, what's the first? If a real drinker gonna feed that beast when he wake up, he gonna have another drink, and then he gonna be like, "I'm back."
Okay.
It's the same thing. It's the same concept. It's just alcohol is just doing the worst thing in your body. But in order for you to feel better, you had another. I've done this. You had a drink. You had a rough night, man. Give me a beer real quick, cause that's the only. And it's the same.
But that's the affirmation when you say, "Oh man, I need a drink." Oh man, I need to hit such and such, or I need to tap that. Yeah. That's you affirming what you need to do. What I wanted to also tap on what he said is the concept of neuroplasticity, which I want people listening to look into, because that's what he's talking about, is the rewiring of the synapses in the brain to become who you want to be. And you can absolutely do that with your attitude, your emotions. You could decide, you know what, I don't want to no longer have this type of attitude. But you have to be intentional about putting energy into that and becoming that, and then saying, okay, this is every day, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm helping people with that every day and becoming a new version of them, right? But I was gonna talk about also, we were talking about just images and how we're programmed and all of that, from social media to this to that, our parents. I call it The Matrix. I love that movie. Like, I love that movie.
Most psychologists do.
That movie was before its time.
It must be real, yo.
That joint, if you go back and you look at it with a different lens on,
my God.
and the whole series, look at the whole joint, you're going to be like, God, man, we in this joint right now.
Real, yeah.
And when I unplugged was the day that I left the government. When I left the government, because it took because I was in the Matrix, born in the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? Born in the joint, and this is my belief system. I gotta go to school, and I'm working in the government for 14 years, pushing up the ladder and this and that, getting jobs, and that was my whole thing, right? Wasn't thinking about doing my own thing, right? I wasn't thinking about that. Like, I wasn't thinking. I'm like, this is sweet. The government give me benefits,
good old benefits.
I got benefits. I got this. I got that, right? And not realizing I could create my own benefits, right? Not realizing the government is going to put caps on what you can and cannot put in your 401k and your this and your that, and how much you could save here, how much you could do. It's control. Yeah. You know, I call it like the iPhone versus the Android. Like, iPhone got everything whatever for you. Yep. It's sweet. Yeah. It's boop, right there. Yeah. Android, you got to create your own junk. You know what I mean? You got to think a little bit
innovative.
more.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people just wanted to be done for them. Yeah. And I don't want to put in that work. I got to do this. I got to do that. They want it to just be done for them.
Yeah, yeah.
Versus just saying, you know what? It don't take a whole lot for me to just do what I got to do for me.
Yeah. Right.
And then it just opens up to create that. You break through that ceiling.
Yeah.
We was talking about earlier.
In the book, you have a lot of formulas.
Yeah.
And one of the ones that I like is discomfort plus vision.
Yeah.
Equals motivation.
Yeah.
That's a bar. First of all.
telling you.
Yeah.
And two, we do have a lot of that in our community.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it is exercised the wrong way though.
Yeah.
You know, but can you go a little deeper into that though?
Man, I think motivation is big, man. Internal motivation. A lot of times we are motivated externally, and for a lot of people, they just lack motivation. They're like, man, I don't know how to take the steps to do what I got to do. I don't feel motivated, right? And I had to sit and think about what's the formula. How do you get motivated? You know, the first thing is you have to be so uncomfortable that you got to do something different. You got to be so uncomfortable that it's like, man, this is unacceptable. But here's you got to be careful of, because a lot of people, they get uncomfortable, but then they get conditioned to being uncomfortable. And then they so conditioned to being uncomfortable that that becomes their new comfortable space. They've become comfortable in an uncomfortable state. And you can't convince them to get out of that, because that's their safe space. You could become comfortable living in the trunk of a car. At first, somebody might get your ass in the car, shut that door. You get me out. Then after a while, you
Fell asleep.
now you in that jump. Now you find your little position there. Now somebody come a couple months later, open that jump. You can come on out, get in your plush bed. Man, go ahead, close that.
Yeah. It's too much light.
I'm good. I'm good, right? I'm good. It's too late now. I'm good now. I done made you've been giving me food through a tube. I got my little situation. I'm good. And people living like that right now. Wow. They living like that right now.
People die like
So what you have to really be able to do is vision yourself and see yourself outside of that. You got to see yourself beyond that. And that's the hard part, because some people don't even know what it looked like. They can't even fathom seeing themselves beyond their current condition. They just like, nah, this is it. I'm good like this.
So they would destroy whatever success is coming their way because of that.
They would we would self-sabotage the hell out of ourselves, Joe. And won't even realize we doing it.
So when do we get to the point, or how do we get to the point where we don't have to be at rock bottom to get motivated versus that prevention that you're talking about?
Yeah, I believe that it takes a certain state, a mind state. You know what I mean? And you know, unfortunately, everybody's not going to be saved.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, everybody's not going to be saved, because some people are going to stay stuck. I want you to check out Who Moved My Cheese. This book,
Love that book.
saved my life.
Who
Moved My Cheese?
Love that
Saved my life.
book.
It's like it take you 20 minutes, you done. And that's why that was the motivation for me to make a short book. I wanted to make a really short book to the point. And Who Moved My Cheese not only it's a book, but it's a little cartoon video. You can YouTube the joint. And I show my clients that joint. And I don't want to give the whole joint away, because I really want you to check it out. But it's so funny, life changing in 20 minutes, and the video is 15 minutes long, life changing. But you will see it depicted in the joint where this one particular individual is so stuck that he can't see himself beyond his current condition. And this man is like, come on, man, we could do this. He's showing them the evidence. You showing them. You're like, look, man, I made this last month. And they like so stuck that they like, no.
I deal with it. Oh my God.
So stuck, right? So that individual is hit or miss whether they're gonna get saved or not. I don't give up hope on nobody, because I done seen people come out of the ashes.
Right.
I done seen the phoenixes. But I know that there's some people that's not gonna come out of that. So you do have to have a certain mindset to be able to do it. There's a certain level of resiliency. When resiliency is not just falling short, hitting your face, it's the get back up part.
Yeah.
Not everybody's gonna get back up. But when you got that in you, he got to be able to identify the people that got that in them, that got that resiliency in them, that got that I'm gonna get back up part. And those are the people that'll be able to follow the formula, because they'll be able to wake up and snap out of that situation. They in the trunk of the car, and you like, Joe, you are in the trunk.
Yeah.
This is out right out. I'm gonna drive the car and back this joint up so you can see how I'm living, and I want you to see how you living. That particular person is gonna say, oh hell no, I've been in this show.
Yeah.
They're gonna snap out of it.
Education.
So not everybody is gonna be built like that though.
Man, we barely scratched the surface of your book, brother.
Man, it's that joint is a lot in there. I was just looking through it and I forgot I even wrote it. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Some of them joints is like, oh man, I gotta keep reading my joint like every day. Like, it's so much in there. I wanted to just pour so much in a little bit because I wanted to really give people the secret. And if either you're gonna get it or you ain't. If you don't get it, you don't get it.
And before we wrap up, where can people find the book? How can they get it?
Man, you know what? I haven't even
and the cards
gotten into, and I'm gonna take a week off just to get on my promo because I have the platform to be able to get it in Targets and all this and that. But right now, it's just on Amazon and my website, empowertoday.net. You can go on the website, empowertoday.net, in the store, and you can get a bundle that comes with the book and the workbook. You get the intentionality workbook, the cards, all of that.
We could really dive so much more deeper, and we want to have you back again because I really want to get into this some more because when we talked about the church and teaching, a lot, it's just so much more.
I talk about forgiving God in there, man.
It's just so much more in this book, brothers, that and now to our listeners that we really want y'all to get into. My son, my father, and myself, we all have the deck, and we're going through them together.
Oh, outstanding.
My big guy here, he's not as consistent, but we're gonna get him. But he got him.
Yeah.
And there's no excuse.
Yeah, to throw you on a bus.
That's what Daddy does. Hey, take your nuggets.
But it's different methods for that.
But we got the tools.
Okay.
And we appreciate you for the tools, though.
Yeah.
Our sponsors, baby.
You know, that's why he did that wrong. He know damn well I don't never do the sponsors. I don't never remember. I was supposed to say what you just said, and you were supposed to do the sponsors. So since you said what I said, you read the cue cards wrong. Go ahead and do the sponsors. I never remember the damn sponsors. He always talking about something sponsors. He always do that.
This is the guy, though.
You want to tap me, too. Come on, man. I don't do that.
Hit the sponsors.
Man, do the sponsors.
The 301 Nutrition Spot in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, man. Y'all need to go there and see him. DJ Shane, what kind of drinks they got, man?
Oh, man, they got health drinks, they got teas, they got Energizer shots, they got protein waffles. They actually just celebrated their re-grand opening last week, which the Underground Lab was there to catch some of that.
Beautiful.
So they do a vendor event every Saturday. They bring a small black business in to promote their business. So yeah,
and they got a gym in the back too.
Yeah,
and 3 beautiful black women running, right?
Yeah, shout out Miss D.
Miss D. There we go.
Yeah, so look. In closing, this is what it is. Like, at the end of the day, everything we said today, first of all, go get Dr. E's book because it's powerful. And more importantly, just get out of your own way. Trust me, that's easier said than done. And one thing that we talk about is, like, that traumatic incidents or that big situation that happened. A lot of us actually need a big situation to happen in our lives to open our eyes to be able to see something different, that it can be more, that we can be more, we can do more. I had mine. You know what I'm saying? When I got handcuffs put on me. And I never would thought that I would ever have handcuffs put on me. You know what I'm saying? So it just everything's different for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it might not be that severe for you. Mine, it sounds worse than it was, but it wasn't that bad. Wife clowned me all the time. I was like, man, I'm convicted. What you talking about? She's like, nigga, they let you sit in the front. Shut up. Which is facts. You know what I'm saying? But whatever it is for you, you know what I'm saying? Understand that what it is, and the thing is self-awareness. That's the other thing that we've been talking about here. A lot of people aren't self-aware. You aren't what it is you think you are. Like, you got this attitude. You thought you was born to just have an attitude and be nasty. Right. That's not who you are. You picked that up along the way, and you've been doing it so long, you think that that's who you are. Right. But that's not what that is. You can erase that. You can change your narrative. You just need the right tools, and these are some of the tools that you can have. You know what I'm saying? Connect with the right people. Listen to the right things. You can do all of that stuff. So,
absolutely.
Outside of that, that's all we got for y'all. Y'all enjoy the show. Oh, check us out. The replay is consistently, right? The live on YouTube. That will be up and posted. And the actual podcast drops on Tuesday. So check us out.
TUL website and Facebook.
Empower all day.
Empower all day. And follow my man, because he works out every day. He gets it in. Motivation. You know
he motivates me.
Hey,
let's move.
That's it. We out of here. We check y'all later.
Mike's down.